Hey guys, so today I'll be showing you a game that I played on Shatter with a Minotaur, and I think it has a lot of instructive points and has a lot of exciting moments also. So let's look at where we spawned. So we spawned on the seaside, and what I like to do on the seaside with Minotaur is push very close to the B cap uh, and sit on that island between B and C. I like doing that because it heavily limits angles of fire on me, so it's hard to attack me without me being able to retaliate, and it also allows me to ambush destroyers quite easily. And since we only have one destroyer this game, it's even more important. So let's see that both carriers are Lexingtons. So and the Minotaur's AA is extremely good, but right now I've turned it off to use a little trick where I let the enemy planes fly within my air spot range, which is 7.2 kilometers, and then I turn my AA back on, and he has to immediately react or he's going to lose a lot of planes. So that's a little trick I use, but you need to have AFT and the AA range mod if you want to be able to do it. So right now we're on our way to that spot that I described. Notice how they have a Des Moines. So we want to watch out for where the Des Moines goes. So we can figure out where is safe or not, because his radar is very dangerous to us. So I'm sticking close to the islands to make sure that I don't get spotted early. So okay, look. So the Des Moines is on the other side of the map. So that means I'm pretty safe over here, as long as I don't overextend. Okay, so C cap is being contested. So I immediately react and see if I can maybe surprise the ship that's capping. Like maybe he pushes into that little gap I'm currently looking at. But it doesn't look like the enemy ship wants to pop around there. So I just moved to the B cap. So I'm being backed up by a Donskoy and a New Orleans, which is nice because they have radar. So that means any ship that tries to contest with smoke or concealment will just get radared out for all of us to shoot at. So here, I don't want to peek the corner so hastily because I still haven't spotted their Montanas, which could be hiding behind that corner right now. So I decide to slow down around this corner. I also have a feeling that torps are going to be launched because the cap is being contested, and a lot of DDs like to use that opportunity to shoot torps at that spot. Oh, so the ship that was actually in sea was another Minotaur. So, oh, and then there's a Montana. So it's a good thing that they didn't push the corner so aggressive, because I might have gotten caught by the battleships that were sitting there. So here I see the Des Moines, but I don't fire yet because I don't want to reveal my position yet, possibly, and I'm just waiting to see if my teammates can finish. So I'm just waiting around this corner, and I think I will pop Hydro soon because I think there's more torps are going to be. Alright, so I'm just going to fire on the Des Moines to finish him off because it looks like he's healing and we don't want to allow him to get away. I get spotted from firing by the Tashkent, who has an open line of fire, open line of sight to me. So the Des Moines is pretty much dead. He has no way to survive. Alright, that's first blood. Oh, my Hydro spots the torpedo spread. So it's 5 torpedoes. So that has to be the Shimakaze because Tashkent is on the other flank. And it is a Shimakaze. It's right there. Unfortunately, the New Orleans next to me eats the torpedo, and I think that deactivates his radar by killing him. So I can't see him anymore. So currently in this position I'm in is quickly falling apart because their battleships look like they're going to round C, and they have a DD and a Baltimore blocking the south exit. So I have to start moving towards the northwest to escape. So our Donskoy chooses a bad move and decides to push towards their Iowa and Montana and the hidden Minotaur, which is on the very close to the sea island. So I already accept that Donskoy is dead, so I'm just going to fire torpedoes at where the Iowa and Montana are going to be at. Okay, so I'm just checking their movement, make sure they don't change suddenly. Which might be, they might change course suddenly because of the Donskoy. So I fire one set that close to the island. So now my intention is to go forward and then launch my other set on the other side. So I can dump 16 torpedoes down the channel and effectively block out the movement for a short while of time. So I don't know what our Lexington is doing, but he's currently flying into a Minotaur and triple USN battleship, AA blob. So not very intelligent, just a waste of planes. So right now here I'm spotted, and this is really bad for the Minotaur, because if any of these guys got lucky or were a better shot, they would have just one-shot me right here. And so it looks like I only just take a massive penetration. Notice here, I'm not going to stay in the smoke because I know the Baltimore is coming closer. I just use this smoke to break line of sight and then move away. I also suspected that torpedoes were coming, so I was going to move away. So I'm spotted briefly, but that's just because of the gap in the smoke. So now I'm unspotted. There's the Baltimore. I don't want to fire the Baltimore because I don't want to give away my position. So I'm just going to move north into this little channel here and just sit here and wait for what the enemies are going to do. So it's been 8 minutes into the game, and even though it looks like I've only done 40k damage, I'm still relatively healthy and I still have most of my consumables. So that's fine for a Minotaur, because it means you can still make a decisive move in the later stages of the game. Cruisers are mostly about not dying very quickly, so you can use the DPM advantage to help your team win. So I'm just going to sit here and wait, very patiently. So I'm adjusting my angle because I suspect that somebody's coming. And yeah, I'm spotted. So I'm spotted, but I can't spot them back, so it must be the Shimakaze. He's entering the B cap, I believe. Or he's about to. So I'm being targeted. So that's either his torpedoes or it's another ship. So I aim my torpedoes at where the Shima is probably going to come, which is from the southeast entrance. So I launch my torpedoes and I just slow down in this position. Oh, there. The cap's being contested. The Iowa's pushing. The Montana is also pushing. So this is going to be very, very dangerous right here, because I have to contest 2 battleships at very close range. So I have to use my smoke screen to guarantee I don't get one shot immediately. So there's the Shima torps that I predicted that were coming. So here comes the Iowa. So I move a little bit because I'm still a little scared about this push. So I smoke and turn on my hydro. So this Iowa isn't paying attention to me, but he just took a massive salvo from my teammates. So I'll just help bring him down with my DPM. Yeah, broadside Iowas melts pretty fast under the Minotaur. And he's dead. So I noticed the Shima is on the northern side of the cap, so I reverse a little bit to see if I can maybe Hydra spot the Shima, but it doesn't look like I can find him. Also, I'm reversing to see if I can fire torpedoes into that smoke screen to hit the Montana. So I fire one set, and I notice the Montana is already moving, which is kind of unfortunate. So right here, I stop firing, because I notice that his turrets are turning towards my smoke. Always be careful. Smoke does not mean you're invincible. It just means you're harder to shoot at. So I was suspecting that the Montana would blind shoot, so I baited him by pointing my stern at him and only firing my rear guns. So he fires his full salvo and misses. So the bait worked, but right now I'm tunnel visioned on the Montana in the south, and I don't notice the Montana to the north of me. So suddenly I'm spotted, and I kind of panic, and I'm like, oh crap. So I rotate all the way around, and I try and get my torpedoes up. So I predicted that he would turn out, but it looks like he's going to turn in. So I start dumping DPM at him as fast as I can, because I have very little time left on my smoke screen until it dissipates. So right here, this is really bad, because there's a Montana right in front of me. And I got extremely lucky right here. You should have deleted me, but I didn't die. So watch what I do right here. So notice how I peek out to look at where the Montana is blackened and where he isn't. So I notice that his stern isn't blackened right here. So I fire my full salvo at his stern. And look how much damage it does. It deals 10,000 damage because it's not saturated. And then I fire the rest of my salvos into him. And I kill him very quickly. 15k in 2 salvos. So now I just need to back off, because there's a Minotaur and a Shima right behind me. So I angle very heavily away. I know Minotaur AP can't overmatch me, so as long as he doesn't hit my superstructure, he can't really damage my hull. So right now I'm aiming for his superstructure, but it looks like he's trying to hit my hull. So he's losing a bunch of health while I'm not, really. Okay, so I just show a little bit of more side to get more of my guns going. But I notice I start taking more damage, so I angle back in. Alright. And my heal's going to come up soon, so I'm going to use that. So I fire some preemptive torps. I'm predicting that the Minotaur will accelerate forward soon. And maybe I'll catch a Shima, possibly. So I pop my heal, and I turn back in. So there's the Shima, and he's caught in this little choke point against a Minotaur. He has nowhere to escape. First, he doesn't have enough space to do a full turn and escape. Second, he's too close to me. And third, he doesn't have a smokescreen ready. So his only hope is to point his nose at me and try and survive as long as he can. But it doesn't look like he's pointing his nose. He's just angling. But remember, the Royal Navy AP has a special auto bounce angle. So you can penetrate at far more extreme angles than normal AP can. So down goes Shima. So here comes Minotaur. So this is very important for any sort of duel against cruisers in your Minotaur. I'm going to slow down the clip. So I start angling in as soon as he starts bringing more of his broadside to bear. So you notice how my ship is starting to swing more. But he's making a mistake of showing broadside. You never do that in the Minotaur. So notice how he takes a really big hit. He takes around 10,000 damage, while I've only taken around 2k. So he starts angling back in once he realizes his error, but it's too late. I already knocked out one of his turrets, and he's at a health disadvantage. So here I actually make a little bit of an error where I over angle a little bit, and I get knocked down to 1,000 HP. This would have been disastrous had I not had SE. So I had my Hydra on the whole time, so I could have spotted any torpedoes that were coming in the first place. So I dodged them by slowing down and turning in. So I managed to pretty much slow down their push inside of B, while our teammates basically crushed and rushed their A flank along with their carrier, and we were easily able to win this game. So I think this is where all the interesting stuff ends. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys later.